Hello everyone, good afternoon and welcome to today's market color recap session. I'm going to be doing a very brief recap on what we analyzed this morning to see where price is, if they are traded into our zones, and we're also going to be looking at indices. So it's basically a recap on commodity currencies, AUD, USD, NZD, and NZD, USD, and USD CAD. And then we're going to look at US 13 as 100 and any other asset class my colleague has in his checklist for today. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with AUD USD. You can see that our markups are still very much active on the charts. We had marked out certain level points that wanted to see price do one of two things. Either for price to, trade into this zone for us to now see a retest, particularly around here, this, and this. These are all the levels that we had marked out. And we said if we see confirmation around these levels, we're going to be taking buys if they meet our buy criteria. However, if these zones get violated and they all get broken to the downside, then we're looking at sell-offs of AU. Into what zone, you might ask? All the way downward. But for now, price has not retraced into what could be our point of interest or what is our point of interest. It hasn't gotten to those zones yet. So we're still waiting. And that's why I stated this is going to be very brief. Not much has happened on the charts. We're still playing the waiting game. For NZUSD as well, right? On the M5 time frame, POIs were marked out. The first one has been broken below. So we see a break and a retest. Now, obviously, not for a buy. This is not for a buy trade. So if we see price break and come down here and gives us a buy confirmation, we could take a buy. However, if these zones do not hold, all of these zones that we mapped out, and we see continuous breakdown to the downside, then we're going to be looking for sell opportunities. If you missed the very detailed breakdown this morning, simply watch the last live video on our YouTube page, carries today's date, and you'll be able to watch everything from beginning to end. USD CAD as well on H4, on M5 rather. So for this, our bias has been to the downside. Price has broken below, but it has not come back into those zones. So you see that price just broke and it has continued to move, which is what we analyzed earlier, but it did not give us entries yet. So are we still going to be waiting to see entries? Definitely. If price retraces into this zone, gives confirmation, and we're going to be taking that sell to break through this 1 hour POI here, right? However, if price starts to break above and does not give us any confirmation to look for sell entries, then we'll be waiting, right? And if price keeps selling without our confirmation being printed, that is also fine. We always want to stick with our rules, except of course you have a trading strategy that you've used for a long time and that it gives you entry. But based off this entry strategy, we're going to keep waiting till it is printed. So that's pretty much it. Let's go quickly into the second half of this session looking at indices, all right? Do not go anywhere. We'll be back very, very shortly. Cheers and God bless.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Once again, we'll be looking at the market and then looking at what has happened so far this morning. US 13 as 100 and also S&P 500, right? This morning we saw we marked on levels out and we're looking forward to seeing how price is going to react from those levels, right? As we speak, nothing really much has happened this morning. From morning till now, let me put it on the 1 hour time frame. We marked out certain levels and we're expecting that we're going to buy from those levels. Unfortunately, price hasn't gotten to those level yet, right? This was the first one here, which we marked out this level here, and we say we're going to buy from this zone, right? But at this, as it stands now, price is yet to come to that level, right? You're yet to see price come to that level. Instead, it's been, of course, been stalling a bit, but then probably eventually it's going to buy and it's going to sell up onto this level and then we'll start buying. The same thing with S&P 500. We have the same analysis on S&P 500. And we stated very clearly that with this analysis, we will be using correlation to enter trade on US 30. Of course, we don't have this type of setup on US 30, but because of the nature of how they move, right, in terms of correlation, how they move together, we would be going ahead. And once price comes to this level, we would be buying a basket of them all, right? Instead of entering the trade on US 30, on US 100 or S&P 500 alone, we'll be buying a basket of both US 30, S&P 500, and NAS 100. And while also ensuring that our risk remains intact. For those trading prop, you want to still risk your 1%. For those doing personal account, you want to ensure that the risk on each trade is the same as the usual risks you used to have when trading your account, right? That being said, so this is pretty much what we have for today on you know the market. Nothing really interesting or um dramatic has happened so far. And for this reason, we'll just be watching so far. We'll just be watching, and then hopefully the market comes to our area of interest, and there from there we can pull the trigger. All right. Thank you so much for joining this afternoon session. Ezekiel, see that you're online. Thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow's session will continue by 8:30 in the morning for gold, GBP, JPY, that's yen basket, and then DXY, dollar index, for all the dollar related pair, right? Thank you. Cheers and God bless. All right.